My name is Jada.
Kai.
Liz.
And I'm Camille. Friends, how many of us have that?
Yes! Oh my god! I mean, so it's gotta be what is it?
Hot Tita Summer.
Hey everybody, you got Jada,
Liz,
And Camille.
and we're calling all Boss Babayas and Creative Kabayan.
to talk about what it means to be Tita.
We're so grateful that you're here with us today. Thank you so much. If it's Thursday, you're watching us on FTV. And if it's any other day, you're probably watching us on Spotify or YouTube. In which case, please like, subscribe, follow. You know how to do all that. Press the button in the corner somewhere.
Yes.
All right, y'all. So we are in June. It has been a very eventful Filipino Heritage Month.
Yep.
And we were so lucky we were able to bring in one more guest
Yes.
for the month.
We are closing this month strong, guys.
So with that said, today we have one of the most sought after comics today, a renowned Filipino-Canadian comedian who is known for his vibrant and culturally rich humor, blending one-liners with storytelling and bringing multicultural nuances of urban living. He's performed globally, not for 5, not for 10, not for 15, not for 20, but 25 years. And he was nominated for Best Male Comedian and Best Male Performance in Canada and won the Just for Laughs competition in Ontario in 1998, which led to multiple performances at the Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal. This is where I got to read now because there's so many things to call out. Okay.
Yes.
He has entertained audiences at numerous international festivals, including the Kings and Queens Festival in Malaysia and Singapore, Magner's Comedy Festival in Asia, LOL Comedy Festival in the Caribbean, Winnipeg Comedy Festival, Maui Alt Comedy Festival, and has also had TV appearances spanning over Comedy Now in Canada,
Amazing.
Showtime specials in Arabia and the U.S., Gotham Comedy live on AXS TV, Comics Unleashed, Last Call on Carson Daly on NBC, and Kevin Hart's LOL show. So without further ado, let's give a round of applause for Ron Josol, everyone.
Thanks, guys. I wrote that resume for myself. All of it's a lie. That was actually only from 1999 to 1990, from 1999 to 2000. I have so much more. No, I'm joking.
No, I was like, honestly, no. I
wouldn't be
even
surprised,
while I
though.
was writing it, I was like, I'm sure there's way more that I'm probably even missing.
for sure.
That's
amazing.
an old resume. That's a resume I have. I didn't update it, but that's basically what you pitch to comic clubs and festivals and stuff like that.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Well, my
right.
manager would do that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so
It took up like almost a page in the docs.
Yeah.
honestly, it's too much.
Make us summarize.
Yeah, because nothing really. Honestly, nobody cares about credits today, and it's just followers now. It's like how many followers? Do you have?
It's so
Yeah,
true,
no,
eh?
honestly.
Oh my.
So true, man.
That's crazy.
Oh,
I
man.
have 4. You know,
3 of them are here.
yeah.
I mean,
Do you guys care about followers yourselves for your own?
For Tita Salita,
We look at the
Yeah.
engagement numbers because we need to know what works, right? But
Yeah.
followers, I mean,
Yeah.
so this is like, we're still in year 1, right? And
Yeah.
we're
Not
flying
even
and
year
building
1.
at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie. It's kind of like, I get like a dopamine hit when I'm like, oh, it's more
Yeah.
followers. The number
Yeah.
like slowly starts to build.
I think
Do you
that's-
get a dopamine hit when you get a message like bing, or you get a phone call? I get scared when I get a phone call.
Actually,
I wish it was the
scared?
government.
oh my gosh.
I'm like, I owe money. The IRS is here.
you never know who's calling you anymore.
Or someone rings a doorbell in the 80s, was like, oh my God, who's at the door?
No,
Now it's like, I'm so don't kill you.
It's
so
true.
true. So true. No,
I have a
it's true.
camera on my
Yeah,
doorbell.
yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
play
Yeah,
that.
I
before
don't-
cameras, my dad had the screen like this.
yeah.
Just put your one eye, and then
Yeah.
the guy's like, I could see your eye.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
There was someone who said that, like, back in the day, it's like you would reserve even like desserts and stuff for like
You
this
forget.
is if guests come. Now it's like don't turn on the
Don't,
light. Yeah,
don't.
don't.
Yeah,
We
it's
pretend
true.
like no
Yeah.
one's home.
Put
Yeah.
on the sprinkler, make them wet. It's like reverse Home Alone. Get the dogs.
No one gets in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Yeah, I know.
goodness.
Can't trust
But yeah,
anyone.
how was your time back in Toronto? You're home now, so
Oh, it's good.
how's the month been?
I usually come down in June, and December is like Christmas time, and then June is my brother, nephew, my dad's. All their birthdays are in June, and plus my nephew actually He's graduating tomorrow.
Oh,
No, actually, no, today.
Oh, is it today? Okay.
No, so after this, I have to go to his
Oh,
graduation.
there you go. Okay, congratulations.
I'm gonna be wearing the Tito wearing this. So like, look at this guy.
You're like the cool Tito.
I know.
I always wanted to be the cool Tito.
Cool Tito style.
you're
Mission
doing it.
accomplished.
You're
Yeah,
doing
you know
it.
what a cool Tito is? A loser man. It's the guy in the party. It's the guy in the family party that's smoking outside, and the kids are like talking. It was like, you know what? When you grow up, you could be anybody you want to be. I chose to be a loser.
Not even. You're the Tito's like,
Yeah.
you're giving me a San Miguel in the back or something.
I have those old Viper alarm systems in your car. Beep beep beep. Protected by Viper. That's 1994. I got that for $30 in Wolco.
Throw it back to Wolco.
Oh yeah, that's my uncle's hangouts. My uncles used to hang out in Bolorama.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
We're actually
Yeah, third
low-key.
class.
Yes, yes,
And my
yes.
uncle used to get. So my dad had a big Filipino supply business. So he would bring. He imported Filipino foods to Canada in the 70s and 60s.
Stop this.
No, he brought balut here.
We definitely bought from you.
Longanisa to
Shut
I think
up.
so.
we had the first Filipino supply. So we'd supply Filipino 5-0. That was one of the original Filipino variety stores in Dufferin.
Wow.
And Bernard's was the first Licho and Filipino restaurant that was open 1968. Still open.
Stop
Bernie's
this.
92 used to hang out with my dad.
I have goosebumps. That's crazy. Bro, you're like part of Filipino history here.
No, and then my dad
Crazy.
moved.
crazy.
My dad moved to Canada 64, and he was friends with Bernard, who opened up the first Filipino rotisserie Licho. It's still there on Queen Street West today.
No
Queen
way.
and Dufferin.
God.
Yeah, so that time, that's when my parents met.
Okay.
Oh, they met
They met
here.
here.
They met here. So
Oh
my
my
mom
God.
was on
That's cute.
vacation. My dad was basically, he moved here and he had a job as a nurse. Right, but then
nice.
he also started supplying Filipino businesses, importing foods.
Yeah.
How did we start talking about this?
I
What
have
an
no idea,
entrepreneur.
but I'm invested. Like,
Yeah, I need to know now.
yeah, my dad basically, he had to teach a white farmer from Windsor how to make balut.
Whoa.
Wow.
So he walked there.
Farmer from Windsor.
Yeah, so he goes, at that time, nobody had balut. So he had to tell a white farmer, basically, he's like, this is basically the conversation. Hello, sir. Hey, how you doing? Do you sell eggs? Well, kind of eggs. What kind? We got quail eggs, duck eggs, chicken eggs. And my dad's like, duck eggs. And then the guy's like, we also have ostrich eggs. My dad's like, what? Ostrich eggs. And
Giant
so
balut.
he made one giant balut.
No way. I was just kidding.
No,
That's
he did.
so cool.
He did it in around 1980.
Wow.
So this the farmer that used to make the bullets for him. He would drive to Windsor, pick up cases of
suck.
bullet, right?
Wow.
And then one summer he was just like, you know what?
try
I'm gonna try to, because he wanted no, but he wanted to make a I would say like a Thanksgiving themed balut,
Oh wow.
like a turkey. And so he made then he took it out like with a metal tray like this.
Yeah.
And it was so stinky. I was it was like Jurassic Park. Like it came alive.
Please tell me you have pictures of this somewhere.
No, nobody had cameras back then.
Yeah, it's a different time.
We have audio of screaming. Oh my God, it's alive!
Oh my.
Right, so he made a giant
Wow.
balut, but then he made baluts like he.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so he would sell
crazy.
them at the Bolorama. So my dad, my uncle,
Oh my gosh.
my uncle. This is in 1968, 1970.
Yeah.
My
Wow.
uncle, my dad was like, okay, you have to go to different bowling alleys to find Filipinos. It's like, why?
Are you like a
'Cause-
bullet dealer? Like,
No, it was. No, 100%.
Like,
Because
what?
you couldn't find Filipinos in the 70s.
that's
at-
fair.
at
Yeah, I mean,
fucking-
understandable.
At Seafood City.
Yeah.
You have to go to bowling alleys and pool halls.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh.
So my uncle, one time came back.
Mm-hmm.
He would knock on. It was 2 in the morning. I remember I was sleeping. I heard boom, 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 boom. Help! I cannot breathe.
I shouldn't have drank water. I almost just freaking
It was-
spit that everywhere.
Open the door. I cannot breathe. Right? And I ran down my panty.
In your brief,
My brief panty. One off, one on. One egg out.
Shut up.
One egg up, one hair combed over.
Oh my God.
And I'm literally scratching my muta eyes.
Oh my gosh.
And I see my uncle like this. He's like beaten up. Blood with a bag of untouched bullets.
He protected the goods.
Yeah. And he called my dad Captain. Captain! They could not take one bullet off me. And he passed out.
Are you lying?
And my dad just goes go upstairs. And so I found out later what happened.
What?
So my uncle had a station at the at Bolorama. Balot, anyone balot? Hey, yo, you don't like balot? How much? 50 cents each. Go, oh, thank you. Next, right? There was a guy that put his own station. And he put his own balot station.
Oh.
And he got it from a farm in Kitchener. Oh. So he got, and he's like, you cannot stay in this one. This is my Bolorama. Bullshit, yo. I could do anything I want. Piece of shit. And they fucking started fighting.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah. So now they were like, my uncle had to go there with like bodyguards. Because you couldn't go, because that was my dad's spot. So my dad had like a little map of, okay, you go here, you go here.
Yeah.
You know, like he was the operator of the fucking a phone. You know, like the operator.
Like operation.
Yeah, and he would have different places where you would hang out and sell balut like drugs. Because in the 70s, where nobody would buy. You think Mr. Loblobs would be like, what is it? Duck egg. Like duck egg, aborted duck potatoes.
Sabao is delicious.
You can make a president's choice also.
The day President's Choice makes a balut anything, I will die. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All the more
was
reason
so
we have
freaking
the
good.
best guest to close off Filipino Heritage Month, because to me, this is like, remember those Canadian Heritage commercials?
Yes.
Filipino heritage, Filipino Canadian heritage.
Yes.
We should honestly make videos of this shit in the 70s.
That is like, this is,
Yeah.
I never knew this, but like that is like definitely video worthy. We got to get that story out. We just wanted to take a second and do a recap of what's happening in the city. So just this past Sunday, we went to the Scarborough Shooting Stars game where they're celebrating Filipino Heritage Month with the Mabuhay game. Your titas got to be there, and we just have a quick clip that we wanted to show y'all.
What's up, everyone? Tita Salita here, your favorite titas. We're at the Scarborough Shooting Stars Philippines Heritage Month event called Mabuhay. Yay! Yeah, so we're going to be here for the entirety of the game. They're playing the Montreal Alliance today, so let's see what's up.
Filipino community has been real fans, supporters of the Scarborough Shooting Stars. And honestly, like when we think of these theme nights, it was always the first and foremost, most important one. Because the basketball community and the Filipino community, and honestly, it's ubiquitous. They go hand in hand.
Yeah,
they go
you
hand in
cannot
hand.
separate them. That's very true. Very true.
You're right.
The older I get as a Filipino, I feel like it's part of my, my nature to just be looked as a role model and be a strong beacon staple and of community. It's important we pass down the cultural part of it. I just try to be around the youngins and try to just show them a good, example of what it is to be a Filipino. And we all don't have to be nurses and doctors. We could be different. You
hear that?
We could be artists. We could be creatives. We could be whatever we want to be. As long as we put our mind to it and positive nature output.
Community on all aspects, East End, Filipinos. Basketball is like our national sport. If we were taller, we'd be playing more. Shout out Jordan Clarkson. But yeah, we're out here. We're celebrating Scarborough, Filipinos, everything.
One question for you guys. What's your favorite Filipino food?
Lumpia.
Lumpia, Shanghai, or gulay?
Shanghai.
I like Hurricane.
It's sinigang.
My mom's sinigang.
And my lola sinigang.
Lumpia, done.
Siniguan.
Sisig.
Kare-kare with some bagong. The oxtail is just something else.
we're back.
All right.
So we had a
good.
good time. You guys already know how much Filipinos basketball like that is just intertwined.
Of course.
But we had a great time, and we also got to go to Scarborough's A Joke Along on Friday with our special guest, and it was an amazing time. I guess, do we just jump into it now?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go.
Okay, so
We got a
where
few
did you
questions.
grow up? We know
In Toronto. So born and raised in Flemington, but by 6 years old I was living in Scarborough. So basically I lived in like Bamberg Circle area.
Oh,
Shut up.
Yeah,
that's
so,
her neighborhood.
that's the
so
Bamberg Circle.
yeah,
we go to all the time.
Funday Bay. So basically, I went to St. Henry,
I'm leaving.
and then they had to move us to Maximilian Colby.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because and then there was like John. There was so I grew up. Pale Moon, Sandy Haven,
Just get out of here.
Seagrave.
This is her
So you
hood.
know
That's
my
her hood.
area. This is my area. I grew up here. That's nuts.
Yeah, that whole area was just like that's from 1980 to 1987. That was me there.
And that's when. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And then I'm from 87. I moved to Markham to Markham in 1987 to
Okay.
92.
Nice.
And then we moved from Markham. We went to Richmond Hill
Okay, yeah.
from like 93 to 2000.
Wow.
In like I guess 2000ish.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
so I guess your journey with comedy. So was this something that you discovered as a kid growing up, or was it something that you kind of fell into
I
as
you
a
know what?
teenager? Like where did that happen?
I think people just know what they're supposed to do. They either do it or don't.
So what was that moment for you
I
then?
already knew as soon as I probably laughed or saw someone make me laugh or saw it but I could made a real. I could actually pinpoint watching Eddie Murphy in 1981. And going, okay, there's a job for me to do.
Oh,
So I was because I was always liking funny things.
Yeah.
Watching funny movies, drawing funny things, doing funny things. And then when I saw Eddie Murphy Delirious, I said, oh, you could actually do this as a living and make money and
get
travel and
paid.
get paid.
Wow.
And so that was really the moment I decided and that was 6.
Wow.
And you were
My
6 years
6
old?
years old. I already knew at 6.
Amazing.
But I think you kind of, well, some people, one of my friends is a magician, and he's 40, and he goes this, I always wanted to be a magician when I was 3, 4, and 5, and I should have stopped listening to that guy at 12 because nobody hires magicians. Like it's like saying I want to be a mime.
specific demographic.
It's like I want to be a monster truck. It's terrible. Like so like he's like 40 and he was like, yeah, that was something that he couldn't. He should have stopped. At 15, he was like, you know what? No. There's no magicians I see on TV constantly besides David Blaine.
Yeah.
Other than that, in Copperfield, there's 2
Yeah.
that made it. He should have said, fuck, I should have did something else. At least with comedy, you could see 100 comedians
Right,
that
doing it
are
and successfully.
working and acting. So
Yeah.
there is still more of a future,
Yeah.
a positive future that's possible. In percentages wise, I would say most people that try comedy and want to be comedians, maybe 2% make it. 2% get to do it full time and live off it. And 2% of those 2% become famous.
Wow.
Yeah, so out of all the people that start comedy, 2% kind of, because I'm the only person that's still doing it after 30 years that I started with. I started with like 30 comedians. There's nobody that does it full time anymore.
Wow.
Because from 20 to 40, you're hired as a young, good-looking, presentable comedian.
Yeah.
When you hit 45, 50, whatever, they're going to choose the younger version of you. Unless you become famous or get some kind of social media following. Then you can start going, okay, now I have a following. I don't need you. I could just make money off them.
Right.
But if you don't have that, you're working from 20 to 40 and you're done.
See, wow. So okay, so 60 years old, you're like, check, watch Eddie Murphy? Like, were you doing sets in the schoolyard? Like, how did you?
No, I just knew that I was going to do that. I didn't know when. I just said already. It's like that's the job I'm going to marry.
Yeah.
It's like falling in love with your high school sweetheart and knowing you're going to marry each other.
And then you have it for life.
Yeah.
I just wait. I was just like doing my thing, and then finally, I think it was the end of my college semester where I had to do my exam. As soon as I finished the exam, I walked straight to the comedy club and I performed my first show.
Oh wow! I love that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome. Because how was that first set?
I got booed off. No, serious. I got booed off the stage.
It's the equivalent of like being thrown in the pool. Like figure it out.
Sink or swim.
Just get
I didn't know that you had to write jokes. I thought comedians made it up, like what you thought. They actually write jokes.
Great tie-in. No, because just for context, we were kind of chatting before the cameras turned on, and I asked if he still got nervous and
he said
performing. And he said practicing. I said practice.
Yeah,
you made it, bro. Like
practicing.
No, but everybody practices.
Yeah, that's what Ron was
brought
explaining.
up a really good point, which it makes sense for any craft or talent.
You still got
there's a constantly practicing part of it.
Yeah, but I think you brought up a good point, the fact that like no one thinks that though with comedy sometimes, right?
Yeah, like the first time I heard that you can watch Mike Tyson for $10 to train when I was growing up, I was like, what? He trains?
I didn't know that either.
I thought they put him in a cage and then they fit him meat.
And then they release him.
Go. Give 4 shots of speed and then go crazy. But no, they're practicing, and the easy part is the show. The easy part is their game. The hard part is the long non-stop hours you're doing it before you actually
commitment, the discipline, the practice.
Yeah, because even during the COVID, I've never stopped for like I was doing 20 years straight for during the COVID more. Wow. And then COVID was the only time I stopped doing comedy after 20 years. Wow. And it was for 4 months. Yeah. And when I came back, I couldn't remember any of the jokes. Oh. Yeah, and most comedians are like, you're going to have to write down and rewrite everything because some of the stuff is no longer working because we're living in a different time now where certain people don't find certain things funny.
Right.
Like you can't make fun of people as easily these days as you did unless it's called a roast.
Oh, unless it's a roast.
So before you could just do whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
You know, you could make fun of every culture, every religion, race, sex. Now you can't fucking do that.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place. I guess like how do you stay not relevant, but I guess like because of the changing times, like how did you adjust to that?
How do you adjust to the fashion?
Oh, I don't know. I just dress how I like.
But you're learning it from outside of people around you. So that's what's important about comedy. You have to be in the major cities that where the style keeps growing.
Yeah.
So like a fashion designer, if you go in New York, LA, you have more inspiration from the people around you and the people who are walking on the streets. If you're a fashion designer that lives in Cambridge or lives in fucking, Sault Ste. Marie, your sensibilities of fashion won't be as great as the people that have the opportunity to see it.
Right.
Influenced. In comedy, there's no difference. In order to have great comedy, you have to be
surrounded.
You have to surround yourselves by society and what's happening in the zeitgeist, and also what's happening in the culture of speech and what is canceled and what's not canceled. If you don't live in society, you can't be a great spokesperson, comedian, dancer, actor because you're reflecting society.
True.
And if you just want to do it yourself, you're gonna do some weird shit.
So, what was the moment where you're like, okay, I'm going to LA? Like when was that?
I mean, it's very I think with anything you do if you choose a profession at its highest level, there's a place that's the mecca for it. So even if you wanted to be the best, like let's say Malcolm X, he eventually had to go to the Mecca to figure out Islam. I had to figure out. I feel from my journey to see life at its highest level. And to see my career as highest level, I have to go to both Meccas, which is New York and LA, and try to get into the clubs that the greats are allowed to. And so, during the pandemic, I had an opportunity to So I got passed. Passed means you are now allowed to work in the. There's two kind of comedy clubs in the States. There's the Road Comedy Club where you get paid $1,500 to $10,000 a weekend, like a comedy club.
Wow.
Then there's a showcase clubs called like Laugh Factory, Comedy Store, the Improv in Hollywood. If the owners of those places, the people that pass and give you the opportunity to work there, have been around for like 60 years. So they've seen everybody from Eddie Murphy to Chris Rock to Louis C.K.
Wow.
So they sit there and they're old 80-year-old Jewish people.
Yeah.
They've just been around since day one.
Yeah.
No, they just sit there and they go, no.
Oh, they know.
Wow.
No, because they've seen it so much.
Yeah, true.
So Mitzi Shore was the one doing it in the Comedy Store. Mike Lacey was the one doing it at the Comedy Magic. Now, in the Comedy Cellar in New York City, which is, to me, the most prestigious, well-known comedy club, because that's where comedy actually started in New York, a modern-day comedy.
Yeah.
Cellar was one of the very first comedy clubs that was... The reason why there's brick walls in comedy clubs was because it all started off in basements and cellars. It was where people waited, and a comedian would make you laugh while you waited to see the big show upstairs. So that's why there's a brick wall, because comedy was never the highlight of the evening. It was where you waited here
It's like filler.
to go upstairs. You're like,
gosh.
it's like they're like, oh, you get to see all the great dancers and the singers. Stay here for 45 minutes to an hour while we'll give you some drinks, and this comedian's going to tell you jokes. And eventually they became more popular than the people upstairs. So certain people that became popular, like Lenny Bruce and all these guys from the 40s and 50s, so they made them the main stars.
Wow.
And they go, can we change the background to what? To brick walls. They go, why? Because that's what we're used to. And it was from the cellar. Yeah, so when
What a gem! I didn't think, even just the fact about a brick wall, like
The waiting room
significance of that.
performance, like that.
yeah, because they're all
That's
their own basement
crazy.
cellars, and why they're own basement cellars is because first of all, you have to wait for the big show.
Yeah.
But second, you could put a show there and not pay taxes because it's not considered above ground. So that's why most comic clubs originally in Catskills, New York, was underground. You'd have to pay taxes.
That's crazy. That's so
Freaking
crazy.
cool, man. It's
So cool.
dope. My mind's blown right now.
Honestly.
Yeah, and so eventually, when I started working in New York City, I had to meet all the greats, the Chris Rocks, the Chappelles, and all that, and you perform with them every night.
Wow.
So you can only get better. It's like gym facility. If your gym only has one bench press and a couple Pilates things and whatever, you're not going to get as better. You're not going to get better than someone.
You don't go to the gym.
I don't go to Pilates classes. I was just like, I see these people stretching and doing some shit in the corner. I'm like, do your thing. I'm here with my 1980s weights, my glasses, and receding hairline. I'm gonna wink at you when you walk up. I'm blowing kisses.
Oh my god.
You know what I miss? I remember when people would call my house, like women, or you picked up somebody, so they had to go through your parents first.
Oh my God! Yes.
And then, so two people would, my mom or my dad would answer the phone. Hi, is Ron there? Hello? Hello? Is Ron there? Dad, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
And
Please hang up.
Okay, but then you hear only one person hang up. And you hear this. So what are you doing tomorrow? Better get off the phone. I'm not there. And
Memory unlocked.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they're like, get off the phone. And you hear this. Okay, but wash your face before you sleep. Put your oxy on your pimple.
Don't forget.
I see one pimple in the morning. You put it on your tooth.
Phones, man.
We did
back
this
in
thing
the
on the
day.
phone.
I don't know why that just popped up.
No, that was a memory unlocked.
It's just the
For
breathing.
sure.
Yeah. But why did they stay on the phone though?
Because they wanted to hear you want to hear your comment.
I know.
Is they having sex? They could go inside. Did you allow him inside?
Did he court you?
Did he court you yet? Did he knock on your door? Come on, knock on our door.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Actually,
So good.
Speaking of your parents,
Yeah.
and just knowing that you were in a creative space, and then you know how Filipinos can be, and you know what our parents all want for us. I guess how was that relationship?
Yeah, when you started
Was there
comedy.
friction knowing that you're going into comedy?
There was
or-
only one time. So I told my dad had his own business, so he understood
okay.
going, outside of the gray area, or like living in the gray area, I guess.
Yeah.
And he was just like, yeah, do whatever you want to do. And then one day I was like, I go, okay, I was working in American Express. This is 1999, call center.
Nice.
And I go, I'm going to go full out do comedy, no more American, no day job.
Yeah.
Because Russell Peters was telling me this. He was like, going, if you want to do anything in life, if you don't put 100% into it, how can you tell if it was made for you or not? Like,
Facts.
because you need to put 100%.
Yeah.
If you put 99, that 1% could have made or break you.
It's true.
So if you don't put 100, then why the fuck are you doing it?
Yeah.
So I go, let me try it. 100%. Let's no more. He goes, take every gig you can, save every cent. Because some months you're going to get 0, some months you're going to get 2,000,
Yeah.
And literally in 2 years, I owe $20,000. I went to get a haircut. I was in Markham, drove my Honda Civic to get a haircut downtown.
Yeah.
Had to go gas, so I go in.
Downtown too.
Yeah. I had a real haircut person. Like, I didn't fuck around with my fades. And then so I was like, okay, $15 worth of gas. First credit card, declined. Oh, okay. I got 3 more. Yeah. Declined. Whoa. There's 5,000 each.
Oh, shit.
The last one I go, this can't be.
Yeah.
Declined. I'm like, whoa. You know when you feel like you eat a hot pepper?
Yeah.
All the heat just
The sweat.
Yeah.
Your powers. Your taint feels like dim sum. You feel dim sum in your pants. So slushy in here. I don't feel good.
Oh my god.
And the guy goes, you owe me $15. I'm like, I don't have $1.
Oh my god.
And
Did you
so,
have to like clean his equipment?
no, yeah, his equipment.
Oh my god.
So I was on a TV show called Flip at the time.
Oh, no way.
It was a Filipino television show that I used to host with Nicole Reyes, who hosts as ESPN. Or she has on
Now we have to
TSN.
pull that up.
So if you put down Flip,
So cool.
it was the first Filipino show in Omni in 1998, 99, and 2000.
Oh shit.
That's crazy.
And so if you put it up, you'll see it. It's fucking insane. It was called Filipinos something in the city. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Funny little island people. Sluts. No. Funny little sluts. Funny little whore bags.
I don't see this episode.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so we're the hosts
We're
of
gonna find it.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna find footage. Yeah.
Yeah,
And what did you show on that show? What were you guys?
we would do everything that was Filipino in the city at the time.
Oh, so like Filipino TV.
Yeah. But this 1990.
Yeah, but this was like
Yeah.
Wow.
I
That's
wish you could pull it up.
amazing.
There's clips up there.
Yeah.
And it shows the beginning. This is 1998, 99, and me and Nicole Reyes are doing all Filipino stuff. So we go to Old Finch because there's a story about the ghost of Old Finch.
Yes,
We-
yes.
So we did that.
Yes.
We went to the very first Filipino restaurants in Scarborough. We're with Ellesmere, and they gave us food, and they're like, "What is this? This is bopis. What's bopis? Meat? What kind of meat? Insides? What kind?
It's just good.
Like
Just eat
dog food?
Just eat it. Eat it with the
Oh my
condom.
gosh, you guys had like multiple seasons. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
That is so cool.
It was the first and I remember all the high schools would invite us to do talks.
Oh, cool. You're
That's
such a trailblazer,
And I was
man.
like, this is a Filipino woman. Look how beautiful she is.
Wow.
And Nicole was like the hot Filipino girl of the city at the time.
Got you. Okay. I'm struggling to find footage.
I have
looks
it
like
up.
Cam
I
has
just,
it.
yeah, no,
But
this
like
is
that's
crazy.
amazing. Like
roll it up.
part of the reason that we also have Tita Salita, we're like we also want to continue to give a voice for Filipino Canadians.
Yeah.
We're told multiple times or reminded by people that we're not Filipino enough, you know, and that's why we're trying to redefine it. So to hear that you've also
That you did
started
that.
like you know
That's
part of that
dope.
journey
That
started
means
here
so
is-
And an Omni.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Omni TV.
Yeah, it was back in
amazing.
1998.
That is
This
so
is so
dope, man.
crazy.
That is like
Well, CBC. So the TV show that we won a Netflix a CBC award
Wow.
from a TV show that we wrote called Rolling Lunganisa. Oh, and it was on CBC in 1996 or 7, and it was I was starring in it. You can watch it. We won all these awards from it, and it was my life as making Filipino Lunganisa in the basement, and they made an actual 10-minute movie that won like 3 or 4 awards.
what?
Wow.
Yeah, so you could watch it. It's,
Yeah, we'll pull that up too.
My goodness.
yeah, so
That
we've
is
been doing this for
cool.
a long, long time.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and then that also inspired me to look at the history of Filipino before Rex Navarrete, who was around 1989.
Shout out Rex.
Before him was a guy named Andy Bumatay. That was in the 60s. He was the first Filipino comedian in Hawaii.
Oh.
And he's 80 years old now, and he still does it.
What's his name?
Go ahead, Lolo. We see
Andy
you.
Bumatay. Yeah, and then before him, there was a guy that used to be the warm-up act for
Oh my god.
who's that guy? The original Johnny Carson. You remember Johnny Carson?
Yeah.
So the warm-up act was this guy named Buzz Belmondo, and he was a Filipino stand-up comic in the 50s and 60s
What?
in America.
Buzz, what's his name?
Belmondo.
Oh,
And he was the first Filipino
Wow.
comedian in America.
Wow.
And that was like 50s.
The way you are
my
dropping
gosh.
gems on our head tops right
I
now,
know,
like
it's crazy.
No, man. It's been
like you're literally sending me home with the homework. Like I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
yeah,
home and
well,
research
like I
all
was
of
telling,
this.
like how Rex Navarrete, I'm friends with him, and he had his Filipino history teacher had a book called Filipino Martial Law. I was just telling you guys, and they're saying the start of Filipinos in America, and basically we were formed in 1594. Spain took us over.
Yeah.
And called us Filipinos from King Philip. But before they took us over, we were part of a community countries called Malayu, which spoke original Tagalog. But that was where Tagalog came from with Spanish.
Yeah.
And that basic Malayu is people from India and Asia forming a race, and Filipinos come from that.
That's amazing.
So all Filipinos have Malayu blood,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
right? And then some of us have more Spanish than others, and more Portuguese than
Right.
others, right? And so this book shows you our history, how one of the first World Fairs in Boston, Filipinos were given money from the Philippines. They were just farmers or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, can you dress up as savages? Like, what do you mean?
What?
Put on this
Stop
Tarzan
this.
suit. Why? We want to give you money to eat roast dogs, because you guys eat dogs.
Oh my gosh.
Right? In front of white people.
No.
And they're like, for how much? And they're like, for this much. They're like, okay, so they pretend they were wild animals, like
Shut
Yeah.
up.
like jungle people.
Oh my god.
And they were eating, because they did eat dogs.
Yeah. Oh.
And the white people were clapping, because they never seen it like this. So Schneider, who was a sausage company, wasn't selling shit that year. So he put a station called the New Hot Dog. So you can now pretend you're eating dogs like the Filipinos.
Stop it.
So these are all
Stop this.
these are all fucking news articles that this guy has in a book
Yeah.
that he's collected and his family's collected since their generations came in the 1500s to California.
Is that like his own personal book, or is this a book for sale? Like, can
It's
you,
a book for sale.
what was it called again?
Filipino martial law.
Filipino
He was
martial.
selling it and he gave me a copy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and in this book it shows you journals and diaries of white women in the 1500s rendezvousing to meet up with Filipino workers. So basically,
they did.
the Filipino, basically Filipinos were made as plantation workers in the 1500s in California, planting shit. So these white women were like, the savages they brought from Asia are not really as savage as we thought. Like, I was reading this, right?
Wow.
They could all play the guitar. and one guy serenaded me.
Oh, singer.
Yeah, and so I want to meet up with him tomorrow when our men are sleeping.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this woman
Sneaky links?
snuck away
Filipino sneaky links.
at 12 midnight to meet up with
Wow.
this Filipino dude who sang to her and wrote poetry.
Oh.
Right? And dance, slow dance. And she was like, our men
Don't
do not
do
do
that.
this.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then dude, I was reading it, and then they're like, and they are incredible in cunnilingus. And when I read that, I do a joke now. I go, I know why Filipino men are the best in that.
Oh
Look
my
how small our noses are. They're like buttons.
They're facts, okay? We're going
If
off
I
facts
press
and
this
history
against
here.
you, the massage you get is insane. First of all, and I don't have a long European nose that constantly
dying.
treats you like
Get out
Woody
of the way.
Woodpecker.
Yeah.
Woody Woodpeck.
Wow. Oh my God. My mind is like, my jaw hurts. My jaw hurts.
I cannot.
That's what he said. Right?
I cannot
And
today.
Filipinos can dislocate their jaws. No, no, seriously, this book is insane. It shows who we
I'm
are.
really intrigued now.
Because there was also a time in my like early 20s I was like, oh, I want to learn more Filipino history, but everything was about what happened like in the Philippines.
Yeah.
But I love this because it's like about Filipinos within North America,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And how that comes
Well, it's like
about
that girl
as
in
well.
Norway. I told this story on stage that the girl in Norway was part of a Filipino community that they're 120th.
Yeah, that's why.
I'm like, everybody's 120th of everything. You know, I'm Egyptian, basically. Too, you know?
Me too.
And I think that, I don't know if it's white women or them in particular, but there's a certain type of men and female that love to save a race. Like they're like, oh my God, it's depleting. We have to save the.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so these beautiful women went to the Philippines to
Wow.
marry Filipino men.
Oh.
And then I go, where are they? They're like, they're in the kitchen cooking. I'm like, what? Oh my God. And I go, so all these women are literally 5'10" to 6 feet. Beautiful model looking.
Yeah.
Wow.
I go in the kitchen. You know what a shaved Ewok looks like? Listen. I saw 5 of the shortest, fattest, chubbiest, baldest, no teeth, smoking
abs.
Filipinos like this. You're cooking. We're cooking them. Palabo. No. And I'm like, and they're like, don't tell them we're ugly. Tell them we're authentic.
I'm dying. Wow. I mean, shout out to them. You know, they're keeping the bloodline.
Hey man, they're fixing the blood.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, they're trying to keep
But,
it.
man,
I absolutely love that.
Oh my
tell them we're authentic. And it's like a piece of meat falls out of their mouth. Tell them we're authentic. I'll grab that with my feet. Don't worry. You ever see a Filipino? I remember when I was working on MTV, Much Music, whatever.
Yeah.
There was a Filipino guy working at the background, the chords. Guess what he's using? His feet. Don't need these.
I work faster like this.
Yeah. He's typewriting. These toes were made for walking.
For anything. The toes were made for anything.
Oh my God.
You ever get pinched by a toe?
I have not, but I know
My-
so many people have.
One of my aunts can just go like this. Oh yeah, really?
Discreet.
Yeah, like
effective yet discreet.
Yeah, we're at the convenience store ordering food. Yeah, can I have this? That was my titi. You pinched my titi head. Is there a blood? Is there a blood?
This is dying.
Did you ever hook up with a Filipino male fob?
I have, personally myself, I have not. But
I remember I was hooked up with a Filipina. And this is the weirdest thing. So my friend Joey Gila does a joke about having sex to this fob girl, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, you're going to make me game."
I'm done here. I can't do that.
You're going to make me game.
oh my God.
And this one girl was would say this. Okay, ready? Are you ready? Okay, are you ready? Everybody ready? Wait, hold on. Is there a blood? I was like, okay. 1 or 2? Is there a blood?
A blood.
A blood means there's a drop. Blood means there's more. Is there a blood?
Oh my God. Let me breathe for
Oh
a second.
shit!
Oh shit.
How did we go from something super serious?
Right?
We're like, oh my God, this history.
You make me kill.
A blood.
No, a blood. Yep, a blood.
Oh my gosh. We gotta.
Oh man, you know Filipinos created the mole remover. You know how fucked up that shit is.
A mole remover?
You know,
Like, this is facts.
look, she probably has a mole in her back. You have a mole in your back? A lot of Filipino people have moles randomly.
Randomly,
Yeah, some of them we probably don't have them, but you ever see the one here, there's one here,
yeah.
right? You know, perfect person. All of a sudden you see this dang. You know, you're going from reverse. You see what's that? You do doggy. You see you can play. I can see the stars.
It's a sign.
Sign. The Filipinos had so many moles, they created a mole remover.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Remove a
More
mole,
facts.
though.
So you freeze it. So it's you inject. It's basically whatever that you freeze dry things with.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called, but it's like dried ice.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You put it on your whatever the mole is, and then you rip it out.
Oh.
And so you can buy this in Shoppers Drug. It's made in the
Oh, like
Philippines.
over the counter.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And then if you want, if you go to the Philippines, you could have that. A guy comes out and goes, he just
He rips it off your face.
it's gone. He just rips off your mole.
A Filipino guy or girl somewhere said, I'm tired of this. I need a solution.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
Man.
Yeah, so the here's something crazy. When I was in Indonesia, I was at the hotel and I went to go get. You can cook in the hotel, so I'm like in the grocery store, and I go, oh, curry. I look at it, so it looks like a bottle of curry paste, and then I lift it underneath in brackets or in quotation it says kari kari. I go, yeah, no, like, is it curry or kari kari?
Yeah.
So I bring it to the lady who works here. She's like, you don't know the difference between kari kari and curry? I go, no.
Yeah.
I goes, curry. I go, kari kari is Filipino. It's like, no. Whatever you learned, shut up. You know, this is the truth. Because in Malayu it was India and Chinese. India obviously had curry.
Yeah.
But the Asian side, there was like Asians who didn't like it. So they took out the coriander, cumin, and turmeric
What?
and just put peanuts and just called it kari kari.
Oh my.
Right?
That's why it's called kare. Because it
Wow.
was curry.
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
because I don't have the strongest Tagalog, I'm like, I don't know. It's like
Where
something
did
with like
kare
peanut
kare
butter.
come
Yeah.
from?
Yeah. Something with
That's
peanuts.
the story of
like,
kare.
What?
Wow.
I always wondered why they called it kare.
It's from curry.
Wow.
So that's another proof we have Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind is blown,
Correct,
yo.
correct,
This is wild.
Yeah, because when you travel so much, everybody's always asking you questions like, "What the hell are we?" Where I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know. So
No, it's
I
true,
have to
yeah.
figure it out too.
Yeah.
So we are probably the last race that was created.
Oh, damn. Because we're,
created.
Yeah,
no, that
we
makes
were
sense.
created in 1594. Before 1594, Filipinos were
Didn't
non-existent.
exist. Oh my gosh.
We were the last race created.
Like we're a new race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so mixed up. Like,
Crazy.
Okay, y'all.
Wow.
We are, I mean, this could go. I could
I
keep
mean, this
going.
could
We got
go on
about 3
forever.
minutes.
That's why a lot of our skin doesn't match. A lot of us have rashes. You know, one has a big nipple and small nipple.
Biggest smalls.
That's why we all look so different.
Yeah. How come our calves are so big?
No, do you know? I'm like, do you know the right?
I asked her, I'll ask
answer.
the question. This was probably the wrong, a fake answer. I saw an old Filipino man and I go, why are our calves so big? And he goes, because when the Carabao died, we had to put on the harness ourselves and do the plowing. I'm like, shut up.
So our ancestors
We're
are
like Conan the Barbarian trying to gain weight.
wow. I mean, yeah, that's definitely one of our attributes.
And
there.
I play that game. If it's on TikTok and IG, I do a game called What Race Am I? So I'll go to India, Pakistan. I'll do China, Beijing, Korea,
Yeah.
Japan, whatever, Scandinavian. I go, what race am I? Nobody can get it.
Yeah,
Because
right.
we're very ambiguous.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna
we
say,
are
yeah,
very
you.
ambiguous.
I would even. Are you full Filipino?
Yeah, I'm full.
Yeah, 'cause
Full of
sometimes,
shit.
You know, there's a mix or anything.
I
That's
mean,
why.
we all look different, though. If you
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
us right now, we all look very different.
Right. And so, what's it talking about? I totally forgot.
The game that you play. What
Yeah,
race
yeah,
am
what
I?
race am I? So I did it in Portugal, and if you see it online, I go, "What race am I?" And everybody, Filipino. I go, everybody. I went to
Whoa,
so many
this has
places.
never happened.
And I go, why do you know us? I mean,
Yeah.
how do you know I'm Filipino? Is there a big Filipino population in Portugal? They're like, no.
That's my
We
guess.
just know the people we invaded.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
And I go,
Well,
what?
this
He's
is
like,
awkward.
he goes, you're in our, your faces are in our history books.
Wow. Oh, I
they
didn't know that.
They teach about
Yeah,
us.
because they invaded.
Yeah.
Brazil's one and
Right.
and Philippines, and I go, you made a mistake though, and they're like, what? Spain took over us. You invaded us. Tried 3 times, got your ass kicked. You had to call Spain your big brothers to do the job, right?
Wow.
And then they're like, that's true. I go, what you mean to say is, I would remember anybody that kicked my ass 3 times.
Yes, basically. Oh my God. Okay, guys, we're gonna close this off.
yeah,
We
yeah.
only got a minute left. We're gonna do a Filipino flash.
Yes, quick,
okay,
quick,
so
quick.
off the top, okay. Do you speak Tagalog or any Filipino dialects?
Bisaya 1/4.
Oh, okay. We'll take it. Balut or dinuguan?
Dinuguan.
Ooh, okay, nice. Asim or tamis?
That's tamis.
Oh, very nice. Palo or na?
I always like a good palo. As I look at your booty.
Hello. Let's see. Mano po or na?
Mano po.
Nice. Adobo or sinigang?
Adobo.
Filipino spaghetti or pancit?
Spaghetti.
Nice. Me too. Lumpia or empanadas?
Lumpia.
What's your favorite Jollibee order?
I would say the one with the pineapple in the burger. Fuck, what's it called?
Oh, the
Yum
Aloha
burger or
burger.
the Aloha?
Yeah,
There
Aloha
you go.
burger.
There we go.
Yeah,
First Filipino you saw growing up?
That would be outside of our family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like on TV or something.
Oh, outside of my family, the first person I ever saw was on TV, and he was a what's his name? He was a Filipino actor. What's his name?
Rufio?
Yeah.
Rufio?
Oh, Rufio.
nice.
Oh, Dante.
Yeah, Dante.
Dante
Bosco.
There we go.
Bosco.
Yes. Balut, yes or no?
Of course.
I mean, I figured that was the answer. But before we go, first of all, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes,
on the
Thank
show.
you.
Oh
You
my
dropped
God.
knowledge and bare jokes today. Let them know out there what you got going on, any upcoming projects, anything like
I
that.
have a show in Oshawa, Yuck Yucks. It'll be July the 14th. That's a Sunday.
Oh, nice.
And then September 7th will be in Burlington, Yuck Yucks. That will be, September the 7th is Sunday as well.
Awesome.
And that's all I have for my own promotion shows. But if you could check Ron Josol 1 at Ron Josol 1 on my IG, you'll see the rest of my dates across the U.S. and Canada. Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank
All right.
you
Well,
so
we also know you're back in June and December as well, so we might
Oh,
hit
yeah.
you up for season 4.
For sure.
Because I feel like there's way
There's
more we
so
can get
many
into.
more things, Ron.
Oh yeah, so much.
All right. Well,
yeah.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you
joining
so
us.
Thanks, guys.
We
Thanks
love
so
y'all.
much.
We'll see you next week. Until then, ingat.
Oh my God.
Not a little